I lived with my mom and dad in Boston, in a house right across from the park. My mom was a marketing consultant, and my dad was an attorney. Until a couple of months ago, Mom worked from home and was always the one who kept the house running. Eventually, her company called her back into the office full-time, and with the long commute and exhausting hours, she just couldn't keep up. So, she hired Miss Carter to help her. She was this quiet, middle-aged woman who hardly ever spoke above a whisper. She started coming every day. She'd arrive in the morning and leave in the evening. At first, everything seemed perfectly normal. Mom was satisfied with her work. She cleaned, did the laundry, and made dinner. All of a sudden, she started acting weird towards me. She'd cook exclusive meals for me and made special things she said were my favorites, even though I'd never told her what I liked. She'd rearrange my room without asking, move my stuff around, and change where things were. When I told my mom about it, she said Miss Carter was just trying to be helpful and that I should appreciate it. But it didn't feel helpful. It felt invasive. My folks' deaf ears made Miss Carter even more smug. She started correcting my manners at the dinner table, telling me how to sit and how to hold my fork, like she was my parent. When I objected, she said,
"Your mother doesn't understand you like I do."
It made my skin crawl. I started paying more attention and noticed the small accidents that had become all too frequent. My mom once slipped in the kitchen and said the floor was wet, even though Miss Carter had just mopped and it should have been dry. A few days later, she got really sick with food poisoning and was in bed for 2 days, throwing up, and she couldn't eat anything. Miss Carter brought her soup and tea and took care of her, but it was Miss Carter who had been the one to cook dinner that night my mom got sick. 3 days later, my mom almost fell from the second-floor balcony while having her morning coffee. She was leaning against the railing, and it gave way and broke. She caught herself and didn't fall, but she could have, and she could have died. When my dad checked the railing, he said it was loose, like the bolts had been unscrewed. He fixed it and said it must have been old and worn out, even though we'd just had the whole balcony redone last year. I started putting it together. All the accidents happened after Miss Carter started working here, and they all happened to my mom, never to my dad or me. I was convinced Miss Carter was behind it, and that she was trying to hurt my mom on purpose. So, one evening, I gathered up the courage, went to my dad, and told him everything. He listened patiently, but told me I was being ridiculous, and that I was imagining things. Miss Carter is a kind woman trying to help our family. You should never accuse people without proof. It's wrong and unfair. I tried to argue, but he wouldn't listen. That Mother's Day, Mom was over the moon. She'd had the day off and was planning this dinner for days. Miss Carter helped cook. I watched her the whole time, especially everything she put in the food, but couldn't find anything out of place. The dinner was normal. We ate, talked, and laughed. My parents allowed me to stay up late to watch a movie, and when it was time for bed, Mom tucked me in at around 10. I fell asleep shortly after. A couple of hours later, I woke up to a sound, feeling a presence in my room. I opened my eyes to find Miss Carter standing beside my bed in the dark, smiling down at me. I froze. I couldn't move or scream.
"Don't worry. I'll be a better mother to you."
Leaning closer, she stroked my cheek and whispered in my ear. Suddenly, I found my voice and screamed as loud as I could. My dad came running. He turned on the light and saw Miss Carter by my bed. "What's going on?" he asked her, even though I was the one who had screamed. He and Miss Carter shared a look.
"Tell him."
She grinned. My dad closed the door and locked it. My stomach dropped and heart started pounding. Miss Carter isn't just our house help. She's very important to me. We've been together for a while, and we've decided it's time for a change. Time for your mother to go, and us to be a family. I couldn't breathe. Wait, the accidents? You were in on it? I gasped.
"We were trying to make it look natural, but your mother kept surviving. We're done waiting."
Miss Carter moved toward me. I jumped off the bed and ran to the door. It was locked. I rattled the handle. My dad grabbed my arm. I bit him hard and he let go. I ran to the window. It was already open. It was a long drop, but there was a tree. Miss Carter was approaching me with a lamp in her hand. Before her fingers could reach out, I climbed out and grabbed the branch. It cracked, but held. I climbed down and scraped my hands, and I hit the ground running. I could hear Dad yelling from the window. He had jumped after. I blindly sprinted to the neighbor's house and pounded on the door, screaming. Fortunately, they were up too, and opened it right in time. I hurriedly got in and told them everything, as Dad pounded on the door outside. They called 911, and when the cops came, they found my mom locked in the basement, with a polybag tightly wrapped around her head. She was barely breathing. My dad and Miss Carter had run away. I stood outside and watched the ambulance drive away with my mom inside. The police still haven't found my dad or Miss Carter. It has been 9 months, and Miss Carter doesn't matter to me anymore. My dad was the one I couldn't stop thinking about. He's gone, and no one knows where he is, but he is the person I trusted most, and he turned out to be someone I didn't know at all.